Hey everyone, Kathy the Vegan Prepper here to bring you, I guess maybe a little bit of a day in the life video. I'm not entirely sure exactly what this video is going to turn into. Basically, I have injured my back and I am resting as much as it's possible for me to rest. I've already done so much work this morning, and then because I was like, oh, I'm already feeling better after sitting and drinking a nice big green smoothie and taking some ginger and some St. John's wort tincture, which is always my first go-to for any kind of back issues. There are a lot of herbalists that call St. John's wort tincture a chiropractor in a bottle. And boy, is it true. For me personally, I find it works better at healing, because it is actually healing, than ibuprofen or Advil or Tylenol or anything like that. So those things will definitely reduce inflammation, and so I'm not like anti those things. I feel like herbal medicine can be used in concert with more modern medicine, and definitely an ibuprofen every now and then is wonderful for just sort of drastically reducing inflammation, so that herbal stuff can get in and start kind of doing its healing work. And that's a lot of times how I end up using it. But I haven't taken any ibuprofen yet. I don't know that I'm going to need to. I haven't injured my back as badly this time as a lot of other times I have, because I've kind of already recognized the signs and stopped soon enough. So hopefully it never gets all the way to as bad as it can get. Right now I'm actually sitting here on a heating pad and just sort of, gonna get through the day, hopefully, just getting healed and better. So St. John's wort is wonderful because it is a nerve healer. So it's very specific for nerve pain and healing nerve damage. So it actually does go and repair damage to nerves, and it's just incredible. I find it to be the most incredible thing for back pain. That is like my go-to. That's one that I will literally never be without. It also is wonderful for neck and shoulder pain, especially if that is caused by stress. I love St. John's wort so much. I've never seen the plant myself because it doesn't grow in my area. I know that it grows up in Oregon. One of my friends has a house up in Oregon, and she picked a whole bunch of St. John's wort for me to be able to tincture the fresh plant, but it needs to be flowering before you use it because it's mainly the flowers. But anyway, so maybe another time I'll be able to get some fresh St. John's wort so that I can make an oil out of it, because you can make a tincture out of dry St. John's wort, but an oil, like a medicinal St. John's wort oil, which is also apparently, this is just from what I have read, not from what I've experienced, apparently incredible for like sprains and things like that. So I imagine topically it would be an incredible thing to be able to have for the neck and the shoulder pain. But you can only make the oil with fresh. And then the tincture is also really good with the dried plant. So there's a lot of people who say you can't make tincture with dried plant, and I think that they're getting confused, because you can't really make an effective oil with the dried plant, but you can make a very effective tincture with the dried plant. Okay, what was I saying? Yes, St. John's wort is amazing. If you haven't ever heard about it, I love the word picture. The plant name is Hypericum perforatum. And so when you hold the flower up to the light, apparently there's a million little perforations, like little holes in the flower. So that's why it's called perforatum, because it kind of lets light through the petals of the flower. And so when you think about St. John's wort and what it does in the body and for, mind and mental clarity too, of course, it's famously a remedy for depression and mood, and it definitely does help with those things as well. But it's almost like the action of the plant in our bodies and in our minds is to let light in and just, illuminate and make everything beautiful again. So I love St. John's wort. So anyway, that's my little thing about that. I wasn't planning on talking about that, but I guess I will leave it in here. So that is one that will definitely never leave my kit. But One thing I do want to mention is the reason I have injured my back is because now I'm about to talk about women's things in case, I don't know, somebody is like weirded out by that. I don't know. I'm giving you time to like pause, but or skip ahead or whatever. But it's because I'm not respecting my cycle, and I don't. And then even this time around, like yesterday, I did that giant Azure Standard haul, and I was lifting, over 100 pounds of food and doing, not all at once, but still, it was quite a lot to carry quite a distance, from the driveway where it got dropped off to my car. I was unloading the truck. I've been doing a lot of heavy lifting and work, putting up food and stuff, even though I have been having my cycle. And the thing is, I think a lot of times women don't like to think that they need rest or help. We don't want to look weak. We don't want to look, like we have a disadvantage because of our gender or whatever. But we need to remember, I need to remember for sure, that there is a certain time of the month, right, that we have our menstruation. And that is literally a mini labor, right? It is expelling the lining from our bodies, but it's the same exact muscles, the same exact mechanics as giving birth that happen. Now, obviously on a much less dramatic scale, but still the muscles around the lower back specifically weaken in that period of time to prepare, and they relax. So I shouldn't say weaken, but they relax. They stop supporting quite as much because they're purposefully relaxing in order to let the passage of the menstruation, the lining, out of the body. And so I know this, and I feel like this is something that I don't know if there's a lot of women who know this, but I always, whenever I injure my back, it is always right either during my period or right around there. And especially when I'm not respecting my body and the fact that my body needs a little bit more rest. And so it's not like we have to sit and we can't do anything, but probably a lot of heavy lifting and digging, and like I've been doing a lot of work outside and stuff like that. That's not the kind of thing to be doing during this period of time. So I just didn't respect it. And I was already like, I got a little bit of soreness in my back, and then I didn't listen. So, and then it went further. So I just went to bend over to pick something up, and how it goes. So anyway, that's what happened. And so here I am. But like I said, lots of good anti-inflammatories, and it has not been as bad as it has been or can be. So again, hopefully I'm going to avoid that, but I thought I would mention that. Especially like thinking towards any kind of, like disaster situation or any kind of issue like that, to end up with a back injury because you're not respecting your body would be really dangerous and really not good to deal with. So I want to make sure that I start respecting myself from now on. But also, it's one thing that I haven't talked about. I want to do it in its own entire video, and so I don't want to get into it too much. But I think one of the most important things that women specifically can do to prepare for any kind of future situation, whatever it may look like, if it's a true full-on, SHTF, like global scale thing, or whatever, is to track your cycle, track your mood, and see if you don't notice that there is a correlation. And so for me personally, I definitely have noticed a major correlation between certain points in my cycle and certain moods, whether it's like a depression that lasts for a day or two, or so not like a true clinical depression, but it's just like I am sad and I'm weepy, and it coincides with a certain spot in my cycle. And then another certain spot in my cycle, I get cranky, I get really angry, and I'm like snappish, like I'm not as patient as I normally am. And so that's definitely what I have noticed, 2 points. And what also the greatest gift I think I gave myself was tracking that and realizing it's especially for those like 1 or 2 days when I find myself just weepy over everything, to be able to think, wait a second, and like look at a calendar and be like, oh, sure, that's where I am. And even though it doesn't stop the mad, crazy flow of hormones that are rushing through my body at that time, mentally, it helps me to be able to say, oh, this is just that. And so it's not like, you know, the end of the world, my life is not over, all, you know, all the crazy things that go through my mind during that time. And then sure enough, within a day or two, it's gone. And it's just, it was a hormonal thing. And so being able to know that and know those things about myself without, so being able to kind of have that moment where I'm able to step outside of the crazy churn of emotions that's going on inside of me, whether it's the sadness end of it or like the angry end of it. It was just the other day. So my angry moments are like right before I actually get my period. I start getting really snappish and like, and like just the other day, Adam was like, wait, are you in a bad mood? And then I had to think for a second and I went, oh, you know, we're like right here. We're like right on this. And he was like, oh, okay. Cause he knows too, cause I've tracked it and I've like told him, FYI, this is what's going on with me. And not as an excuse. And that's the thing too. I think it helps to remove the excuse. Then I just also am very aware of the fact that I need to make sure that I'm still being a kind and decent person, you know, whatever is going on inside of me. And then just knowing, like I said, that it isn't me, like who I really am. It's just those hormones, you know, and there's a lot of jokes about it and people make fun of PMS and people make fun of these things, but you know, these are very real things that women deal with, these cycles of hormones. And like I said, I don't know if maybe we don't like to talk about it as a society because it has to do with women, or is it something that even women don't like to talk about because we're afraid of looking weak or crazy or whatever it is that people say about us, you know, when we're going through those things. I don't know. But just for your own personal self, track those things. And I will absolutely, especially if you're interested, tell me in the comments down below, but I will show you exactly how I have tracked those things and then how I was able to figure that stuff out for myself so that I have that knowledge base. But, you know, even before I show you, but I'm not entirely sure. I think we're a little past halfway through March at this point. I don't remember the exact date, but I will say, how about I will make sure that I get it all ready to go for April, and I'll show you how I track for April. And so, yeah, maybe like in the next week or so, I will make that video. But yeah, okay. So that's enough talking head from me. But today, and then I don't know, there's probably not going to be much else going on in this specific video, but today I wanted to let you know I am dyeing my hair. So I was originally planning on filming everything. So maybe somewhat ironically, and I'm like, ugh, is that like dandruff in my hair? Oh gosh. Anyway. I have naturally extremely gray hair. I have had almost like just so much gray hair since like my 20s. It's been a really long time. So like this entire orange streak that you see right here is actually gray, but it's been dyed over with henna. So all of the orange in my hair that you see is dyed. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, my hair. I just washed it last night, so I don't know if stuff is like, I'm sorry, now I feel embarrassed. This is really gross, but you know what? This is my hair. This is just what it is. I don't know. This is just what it is. Anyway, so I washed it last night in preparation for the actual dyeing process, and actually I'm growing it back out too, right? So it's still a really awkward haircut because it was long on top and shaved on the sides. And if you see some of the older videos, you'll see that hair, and I really love that hair. Like I miss that hair, if I'm being honest with you. But thinking towards kind of gray man type concepts of blending in to a crowd and not calling attention to myself. So I need to probably grow my hair back out because I don't think that there is any woman who could have, you know, extreme shaved hair and like not call attention to herself. Maybe like put a hat on or something. I don't know, but I'm growing my hair back out mainly for that reason, but then also because, or then the dyeing is because maybe, like I was going to say somewhat ironically, I don't think the gray man concept works very well for, you know, somebody with a giant head of just gray hair. And I think in some of my older videos, you can see all of my gray hair as well. But yeah, I'm going to dye it. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to do 2 hours with henna, like straight henna. And then on top of that, I will put just straight indigo. And I'll do that probably for another 1 or 2 hours with the indigo. So the henna will get washed out and then the indigo will go on to hopefully give me a nice dark brown, which is very close to my original hair color. I got my first gray hair when I was 15. I distinctly remember it because I was 15 and I was like, what is this? And then sure enough, by the time I was in my 20s, I already started getting this streak in front. These 2 streaks of gray hair. I have these 2 perfect streaks. It was like the movie X-Men, you know, like when Rogue got her 2 streaks of gray hair. I was like, oh my gosh, she has my hair. Anyway, so I guess that's all. I'm going to go ahead and go. And I'm going to play a video game for a little while because I have to sit. Yay. Actually, I'm really bad at sitting. I suck at sitting. I'm like, I've already done so much work today and I really shouldn't have. And then I was in the kitchen after I had made pancakes and I had done all this stuff. And then I was like, oh, like I felt another little thing in my back. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to sit for the rest of the day. I don't care how good it starts to feel. I am taking a rest day. But I'm going to dye my hair, but that doesn't require a lot of work. So anyway, all right, that's it. I'm seriously going. And so when you see me again, hopefully you will see me with gorgeous, dark dyed hair. And yeah, so I just do it with plants. So if you guys ever want videos on that too, let me know. I'll show you how to do that. But mainly, and I'll link it below, get the book Natural Hair Coloring by Christine Shaheen. That's the book I use. And everything that I know came from that book. So if you get that book, you'll know everything that I know. So anyway, all right, cool. Then I'm going to go. And then I think that that's what it's going to end up being. It's not going to be like a day in the life. Just a quick talk. And then go ahead and get hopefully a nice view of my dark hair at the end of this video. So, all right, cool. See you guys. Hey, it's been several hours now, so enough for the henna to sit and then to sit in my hair. So the henna mix sat for like 4 hours and then I put it in my hair and left it on for 2 hours. And this is what I've got now, pretty dramatic red, even though my hair is still damp. You can see how dramatically it shines through. And I do like that. Like, I think it's actually kind of pretty with my skin tone, but I'm going for dark brown this time. So now I've mixed up some indigo paste and I'm going to put indigo in my hair and leave that on for 2 hours. And probably at that point, the light will be gone. So I'll probably just show tomorrow what it looks like. And indigo is when you actually mix immediately and then you use it immediately after you mix it, where the henna does need to sit for a few hours in order to be effective and like extract the dyes and stuff. So anyway, yes, that is what I am about to do and hopefully it turns out well. And I, just because for fun, I will show you what I look like while this is sitting on my head. And you can see what Mr. Vegan Prepper gets to come home to tonight because I am keeping the romance alive. Ooh, sexy. Okay, everyone, it's been a couple days actually. I'm getting ready to film another video and I realized I hadn't ever filmed or shown my hair since I dyed it. So it did turn out quite a lot darker than I expected, but this is the indigo. It's the first time I've ever done a double application where I did henna for 2 hours and then I did indigo actually for a little over 2 hours, and so it went full black. So next time If I want it lighter, I will do less time with the indigo, but I actually am really liking it. I used to dye my hair black all the time. And then also this is actually very close to my natural ungray color. I had extremely dark hair when I was very, very young. As I've said, I kind of started going kind of dramatically gray in my 20s. So anyway, I do really like it. I think it looks great. And it's been a while since I've had dark hair. It's been reddish for so long because I've been doing henna for so long without putting any dark on top. But anyway, the book I use, as I said, is Natural Hair Coloring. Actually, just a second, let me go grab it for you. Okay, yeah, here it is. Natural Hair Coloring by Christine Shaheen, and this is just my resource for the natural hair dye. And then yes, also my back is feeling a lot better already, just with a combination of rest and some good plants. I will admit I did take, I think, like 2 ibuprofen at one point, but yeah, I am on the mend, and I'm grateful that it never got as bad as it has gotten in the past. I've had some pretty horrible blowouts with my back before, but anyway, I guess that's all. So that'll be it for this video, and hopefully you liked it. And so please like and subscribe and comment down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching another kind of personal vlog style video. And I'm getting ready to go film another video, so I'm not going to talk about all that stuff now, but when you see the stimulus money and like what's next video, you can click on that, and that's everything that I want to say right now that I'm not going to say because I'm going to wait for the next video. So all right, that's all. As always, I hope the rest of your day is good and your life stays wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys later. Bye.